this is an interesting story that's about to pop up. We're going to discuss a young man under the age of 30 named Ramzi Khalid Ismail, an American, whom, if you are on social media sites and you understand social media influencer trolls, because yes, the influencer troll is a thing, you know him as Johnny Somali. I know he's American, but I'm not too sure if he's American born, but I'm thinking his parents were born in Somalia and immigrated to the United States. So, right now, we're going to take a trip to South Korea, to a country that I myself want to visit someday, and should hope that when I visit, I'm not going to pay for the arrogance and the stupidity of other Americans who don't know how to take themselves to someone else's country and understand decorum, who could look up customs online and cultural differences and choose not to study it before you go over to their country and make a fool of yourself. So Johnny Somali is a guy who's known to travel to Asia. He may have done some crazy things here in the States too, including Japan and South Korea, and do things contrary to their culture to make videos to get attention. And actually has a substantial following, which to me in itself sucks. So he was getting in trouble in Japan, and when the heat was on him, he got up and left and headed to South Korea, where they finally decided to indict him. But before that, he was making South Koreans so mad they started beating him up. So what did Johnny Somali do? He would go in public. He would call women the B word, yell out stupid B and all of these things when they either faced him and opposed him, or for some odd reason he would just yell stupid B. Now let's be honest. I don't think South Korean men do that, but there is a gender war going on in that country. It does not mean that an American can go over in the streets in someone else's country and yell expletives at their women. He was performing lewd acts in public on their statues, going into convenience stores and just getting drunk, which you have to understand that's a no-no in South Korea. But he would go do it as an outsider and make a fool of himself and film it at the amusement of his audience. See, the reason stupid people like this can exist is because y'all pay them and bankroll them to exist. He was already banned from Twitch and something called Kicks for his antics. You would think that the other social media forums would have done that, but no. Now, the difference between Japan and South Korea is that South Korea has had enough and he's been indicted for his nonsense. In a country, just about every country, where you know cameras are everywhere. Now he wants to do this, the customary bow and say, you know, this is a beautiful people culture. I'm sorry, but in previous videos, in several videos, he said he was not sorry and was going to continue to push the envelope. I don't care what y'all say. Let me tell you something right now. If you're in these here United States of America and you like to travel, quit going to these countries and doing stupid stuff and then expecting the United States to save you. Because when this idiot was given his groveling apology, and yes, he's an idiot, and you're a big bunch of village of idiots for paying him for being disrespectful, because he built a content base based on disrespect in other people's cultures. Y'all know well as I do that he went overseas and pushed buttons in countries he knew he could, because you can't deface statues in the United States, and they know that it was you because there are harsh penalties here for that. It may not necessarily be jail time in some places, but you're going to pay some hefty fines. We all know that. Isn't it odd how he went to a peaceful people like the Japanese and Koreans? And not to say that they're passive and don't stand up for themselves. Don't you find it odd that Johnny Somali didn't try this in Thailand? Don't you find it odd he didn't try this in Singapore? How odd that he didn't go to mainland China to Beijing and try this. Any guesses as to why? So I'm going to tell all of y'all something, all you influencers something. Your freedoms you enjoy in the United States don't extend outside of these borders or territories. And your so-called ability to go to somebody else's country and act arrogant is going to put a target on all of us. Quit going to these countries doing the fool and then saying you're sorry later. Putting yourself on camera like this dummy. I'm going to go and deface this statue and do a lewd act with this statue, then actually go do it. He literally flew to these two countries and messed with cultures that did nothing to him. All to go viral. All for freaking clout and attention. And any of you who bankroll him, you're just as big of idiots as he is. I don't care today. Today is not that day. I don't care. Making money and being this stupid, is this worth it to y'all? Is this the pathetic downfall we're taking to make money now? Is that we go to other people's countries and do stupid stuff and then try to take the high road when we get caught? See, it's funny that he was on these videos. I don't care who I offend, and I'm going to say this, do this, going up to random people doing stupid stuff in Japan and Korea. Because I watched Abbott and Preach's video, and I saw his groveling apology. It's funny now that you don't want to act hard when you've been caught and you know you've been indicted in that country. Because the United States can do zilch for you, and I'm glad they can do zilch for you. Because it's a thing called the World Wide Web where you can go study people's cultures and know what was offensive and unacceptable. And no matter where you live, as Abbott and Preach said, wherever you go in the world, you cannot deface statues. This is a universal common sense. But to sit there when I watch Abbott and Preach's video early and see that groveling apology, it's hollow. It means nothing to me. What would those people think once I visit their country and show a true respect for their culture? Your freedoms in the United States of America does not extend overseas. Quit going to these countries defacing statues and disrespecting their culture, okay? Quit going to Dubai getting butt naked on freaking patios, and then when you face Sharia law, oh my God, I'm American, it doesn't matter, you're on their soil now. Etc., etc., etc. Y'all's disrespect goes to a level that is tiring. If I was South Korea, I'd put a and Japan, I'd put a lifetime ban on him. Find some way to where he can never enter either of those countries again. In order for this to stop, these are the things we have to do. Please quit going to these other countries making all of us Americans look bad. Because we know y'all are tired, but we've been tired of them. And for all you enablers that front and pay his way, you're just as much the problem as he is.